We do a 16-bit file when it comes to this point. This at every hour or so. It's not that difficult. You can see my screen here. I'm showing you what the deal is, and it's up to you if you want to be a scholar. But hey, just look at me and tell me what you want in life besides a big ass dick in your mouth and in your loose butthole while you're working for the car payment. If you ain't no made man like me, look at me, I'm made. Do I talk like I'm unmade? My bed makes itself. So what you do here is you highlight all of your slices, and there's an option in here that says convert to unique copy. So all we need to do now is just sit back, smoke our weed, wait for our electronical bitches to help daddy out, work the high-speed streets, because I need to get my product to the local corner. So if you want to talk smack, you can just dial my phone number, 1-800-555-PIMP, and that'll be a first ticket to the reject hotline. It says, haha, you've been fooled once again. I would never call a number that starts with 555, homie. I'm gonna go out and watch TV. Only someone who looks like you would do that. And you know, I'm just so happy that you're actually doing something in your life that, you know, I ain't got no problems, neighbor. Can I just go back inside instead of hearing how much problems you got? Because I got problems of my own, like I lost my lighter, so I can't light my bong bowl. So I'm just trying to relax today before I go back tomorrow and make more money.
Plastic seat and false teeth. Who will give me $5?
If you haven't done so already, please take your ass to twitter.com/CWSPOD. There is a pinned tweet there that has the latest album. I encourage you to check it out on YouTube. And if your mom paid off your YouTube subscription so, you know, you won't kill yourself because you're so bored jacking your dick, disgusting everyone. You know, you just gotta look at me for hours and hours on end, and you're like, damn, you know, he's so hot. And I want a life where I can make as much money as me. I ain't gonna tell you how much money I make, but I'm a millionaire, bro. I don't need to. I'm not a politician. You ain't need to see my tax returns. You ain't need to see my tax status. You ain't need to see my bank accounts. All you need to know is that I ball. Just look at 20 albums, homie. 20 albums equals a baller. We ain't got 7. We got 50. Because we a baller. Ballers do that, not gold diggers. There's a difference between a gold digger artist who releases 7 tracks and got 26 minutes on it or so, compared to someone who releases music every month. And 2 albums ago, that one, CJ014, was close to 5 damn hours. Is to make little tiny clips. But you know, I ain't found the motivation to do that from the bed to the iPad in my heated blanket, DirecTV having ass, gigabit up and down now speed to edit these videos on your blazing fast iPad. Cost $1,500. Damn, bro, he can't do it. Pain. Even sitting, yeah. Shit is psychological now. I'm not sure how that penetrated my brain, but that has, and I can't find the motivation to even edit a video from bed on my iPad. I can't find it, man. And that's exactly what I wanted too. I got it. I can't do it. All I gotta do is listen to some music and delete it, merge it together so we can complete CJ021. Have I done it? It's not a hard job. Do you know how many people would be on that shit if they had the content? Ask me 20 years ago, man. When we had VCR tapes and Atari 2600s. Ask me that then. And I would have been like, hell no. I don't want to do that.
Creative Wind Studio titled CJ019 Instrumental Beachside Resort Hotel.
So I'm just gonna chill on the Zoloft, smoke my drugs. I'm gonna wait till my number's called and do the RF ablations. I mean, what else can I do, right? At least I got a microphone. I need a little drum set. Wait, that'd be nice. To sit here in agony for years. No one wants to listen to a grouch. That's for sure. So we're like, okay, don't become a grouch. And I haven't given a shit for so long that I don't know who any of these people are on TMZ. I know who some are when I read about them. And in the back of my mind, I have to be like, yeah, people are interested in this because it's about Donald Trump. Everyone always talks something about Donald Trump. So I'm like, okay, talk about it. And then we got these other people. If it wasn't for me reading TMZ, I'd have no idea. Sometimes I watch Breakfast Club. There was a day where I had a day-a-thon. Watched a bunch of... Those are interesting. It makes me realize that there are other people that think like I do. There was Pimp C. Was it? Pimp C died. Man, he's an old school guy, and he's bringing someone up. I forget his name. And he was spitting wisdom on the microphone, and I was like, so a lot of those people I can relate to. Hell yeah. I like listening to them when I got time. I like listening to you, man. Because I feel like we writers are in some other land. And that's why I believe that there are certain types of people. People that can do this. And like I can do this, and my wife can do that much better than so I believe that people are made to do whatever they're doing. And there are certain characteristics about people. I try not to generalize because no one likes people who generalize. Well, the average. Like, the people who got their shit together in the music business, I could say I relate probably to 70% of them. There are some that it's just too much about the money, and some of them, they got a message to tell. For me, it's not really about any of that. I don't have any messages. If I did have messages to tell, I already would have said them. I'm already drained out on messages, so this will come up with acting roles where you're just, it's easy now. Like I ain't got writer's block. Some days I have a problem putting my head together for freestyle because I think it's all these drugs I take, and some days it just doesn't work. But on an average, I'm like, yeah, I got my shit together. And I'm glad to see when people got their shit together, when they pass up temptations, when, like, I have been very responsible with dangerous drugs for years. I mean, that's amazing in itself. So, and even these 20 albums, you know, I still haven't got a good job. My family haven't reached out. A good 60-75% of them have not reached out to me at all to tell me good job on what I've done. And so I feel that there's a disconnect from the lack of respect. And yeah, I don't go out of my way to do the same. But why is it always got to be me? And I feel like I got a lot on my plate already, and I will get back to people. It's just I'm dealing with my own shit night and day. That maybe my perception of me not going to Christmas isn't really about my back pain, because no one pays attention to what they need to be paying attention to. And they come up with their own ideas and their own suspicions and their own perceptions of who I am, when, you know, these videos and the proof is so right there. And, you know, I choose not to put myself back in situations like that. I feel it's dangerous when I don't have anyone's security but my own. It's like, I know I will be on my best behavior, but will all of you? And I've gone my extra mile to try to clean up whatever situation we're in. But, you know, are you? And how am I still the bad person in the situation when I've done everything I can from the distance I live at to clean up the situation we're in? And there are views that will never be shared with you, and there'll always be backroom conversation on who they think you are and this and that. It's like, that's not what holidays is, but that's what it's become. And they forget that I had back surgery. I heard one of them say a while ago, but if one said it, there's a high chance others. Like, oh, I forgot you had back surgery. I just thought you looked sad and was needing some help, though. Want someone to talk to? And as much as you try to explain, you know, you might be faking. Damn, you're on that many drugs. Let's try to get you off of it. It's like, it's not even in my favor. I feel like I've gone out of my to 4K, like this one's 4K. And I could show you. Sorry, I wasn't watching. There's been times when I joked and was like, yo, I got 8K ready broadcasting. And alright, so, and in a way, like this camera, there's a box right back there that I pull and switch and pull and switch. So that's why you see wires laying around. Because when I'm not here, I pull this 4K box and hook it up as my display device on my PC. So you guys can actually get the full effect of 4K, since these are recorded that way. And so that's why you see it as a mess right now. Usually they'd be screwed up on the wall, and because I've been hurting, that's why it looks. But we're gonna be adding this Stanton here, maybe right here in front of my face. So things are always getting moved around, and at least for me, it's hard to be in a studio where it's always spick and span and clean, because I'm moving things around for my physical handicap. Took me a while to understand that this is where this rack should be, and if I scoot closer, I don't have to raise my arm out anywhere to put extra stress on my spine. So I mean, it's nice. Many years to figure this one out. And here we look at it through our iPad. What I wanted years ago was a wireless display. Wireless display, man. I can work at it wherever I go. And I can hear and see myself right here. And this is where I get my super stereo sound, coming from basically what you guys are watching, but it's a 1080p version. It's a nice smaller version, so it doesn't take so long for it to get from point A to B. So when I do live editing from my bed or something, I can wear my earbuds, listen to this. There's a 2-second delay, so I can, that's what you see me do a lot of times. Then I'm editing, like I got this big ass screen right here, scrolling back and forth. There's that one screen. I can zoom in. So these are my monitors. An iPad Pro. Exactly. Using the Jump Desktop app. Audio, 60 frames per second for video. There's not a technology that has them both combined, so that's why I use them. I got 4K screen here. Right now I got 1080p, but it'll be 4K. Again, and here's my work desk. Look how messy that is. I think that's a 2K work desk. That's what I do. So that's why, another reason why you don't see me in here very much is I let my family use the 4K television in here. And all that shit up there, besides my speakers are broke. I got plenty of music to do yet for a beat CD, so I really only come in here to work on actual beats, because we do so much of them when we do it. Maybe once every few months. It used to be every day. Sure. Then life happens and, you know, you can't do what happens. Oh, man. And then your back happens, and then, you know, bullshit happens, and then, you know, you're laying in bed happens, and then you're like, how come I didn't do this when I could? Happens. Luckily, I saw this one coming, years ago, so glad I did shit like that. I can connect to any computer, so I virtual it in here, and then I got other computers open here. I got full control of that, you know, it's quite nice. It's a whole control panel in my hand. All on a piece of machinery which will last 10 hours on battery if set the correct brightness on the display panel. Got 4G, man. I'm using, I think, the first or second generation of iPad Pro. I really like this fingerprint. I'm not a fan of the face print. I'm a fan of the fingerprint, man. So that's why I haven't upgraded to the latest iPad. Damn, these iPad Pros, I can give you a review. This thing works great for editing. This thing works great for editing video. Not too great for taking pictures. It's got a crappy... if you ever worked an iPad camera, it works about as shitty as that. Maybe a bit better. So, but the editing on it, if you can get the video on the cloud and then pull that video down, this thing works real well for video editing. Straight up, man. Yeah. Hell yeah, man. But I couldn't ever get into video editing. It's a damn shame. Because my life is video recording, but I can't do video editing. Jesus didn't put that feature on my option list. Yeah, I don't know why I really videos the way I do either. I think I got enough information there for you to keep you company. You're smart enough, you can figure it out. And I sit here and I watch this shit. And I like what I have here, because this is, besides... yeah, that's basically my life. You're looking at what I look at. There's a high chance that if you're around me, you would see this exact same thing. My iPad, I'd just be walking around with this, some earbuds. I'm walking around with my desk, man. Editing 4K video, and I can release the same 4K video that same day. That's the shit we're talking about. Like, I don't know how you were brought up in life with Adobe Premiere, with your nose up in the air. I don't know how you're brought up with Pro Tools with your nose up in the air, thinking you're all that in a bag of potato chips, with your nose up in the air, using that kind of shit that the upper city uses. Yo, I wasn't brought up that way, man. I was brought up to be raw. I was brought up to not be afraid of who I am, and I'm Bible school, and then someone popped up a question and it got him curious, so he did some research or something, and then it brought him down to a road of him losing his faith. So be careful of the things you watch out there. In 20 minutes long, and it it was made by a pastor, and if you look, it's got 1 million views, so it's a damn good video. But I mean, it's a personal journey, and that is one example of a personal journey. It's not there. Let's load our bowl here. You can take a break. So while I load my bowl here, I will play some of the freestyles that I have already out.
More, I let out exhaust. I breathe from heaven to hells. What the hell am I doing here? For your enjoyment, not to put out but policy. I love a pound on my dick. You like it, prick? Erotic dates. You sit in haze. You became liable for the words you spoke.
I believe these tracks can be found at soundcloud.com/CWSPOD. This is the last track we're going to play here. I believe the first one we played was Above the Rest. That one's on YouTube. Next one we played Over...
Just forget that. A sterling gold. Go, 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 go. A sterling gold. Stop, a sterling gold. A 2 tons. Sitting subsonic. Your active conscious tells you how to drive it. Subconscious. Sits when you sleep. Being pumped, you gave it all. You think we can just forget that? A sterling gold. Go, 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 gold. A sterling gold. Stop, a sterling gold. A 2 tons. Out of the gold. Play the game, risk, get burnt.
Well, you are tuning in to another spectacular section of LGCD.
CWSPOD
435.2.
005 to 6 professional.
Today's theme is Higher Than Before. So, whether we are talking about being higher than we were before in conversation, maybe that's it. Maybe we were in depth in conversation. But I don't want to talk about religion anymore. I know it's everyone's favorite topic, but to be honest, it never ends well. So let's just not talk about it and say we did. Because I did post something on my Twitter page. Not really saying why I don't. Remember, I died in 2005. And I had that near-death experience. Don't forget that. So I can't be evil. What? Kind of what I did there. And then I feed my wires through there. One will be low power and one will be higher power, like voltage side and signal side. And a lot of the cables I buy now are shielded. Some of them are not, but the majority of them are shielded. And it's real easy to develop interference. And I'm going to see down here, interference. And I don't know if you see down here, but we got a bunch of boxes. You see that camera? A bunch of boxes down here. That sit on a wood constructed by plastic. So, and notice how I make things, man. You should just it's not on iron. It's from wood, because wood does not. I had a metal rack. I had one of those big, expensive, heavy metal racks, and I'm a guy who likes to buy things off of eBay. And I start screwing it in. I'm like, yeah, aren't I cool looking? Because I have something like this. And it makes it look nice, yeah. I just was like, yo, F this. I had to do something else. Because it was a phenomenon. You change all your cables have to be the same length. Even like this, they gotta be the same length. I didn't know that way back when. I would just, I got one here, a short one, a long one. But the impedance is different. And that's why a lot of my early tracks, different. And that's why a lot of my early tracks, it didn't work very well. Because I didn't know what I was doing fully. I still don't know what I'm doing. But we know more what we're doing than we did 5 years ago. I'm not saying, hey, nana boo boo. I'm just saying, I've been busy. Busy learning, busy progressing, busy fixing our issues. There's some misspelled words. It's a pain in the ass. You don't understand. As a day, I upgrade to zip ties and screws and wood. But my chair used to be the couch. And I wheeled my workstation with me. A total nerd. But now it's too big. I need 2 rooms. That's a given. I mean, if you're not in your own top 100 as an artist, how can you compete with yourself? How can you compete? So you're tag teaming. I like that. When I first heard myself, or even beats for that matter, I go back to CJ001 and I was like, okay, let's compare now 10 to 19. They've improved. And by the time I get closer to the end of this goal, I will be a master at this beat creation. I can go back in time and listen to my first freestyles, to the freestyles I do now, and they're freestyles to the freestyles I do now, and they're different. I don't know if they're better, but they're different. And I like seeing that constant change, because that is the reason I get up every day. If I never was able to follow through with and the reaction is usually a smile back, and that lets the other person know that there's no hostile's the furthest thing away from their mind when they see a smile. So people respond better no matter what it is. Ordering your food, receiving a package from UPS, handshake. Everyone responds better with a smile. So practice your smile. I believe these are, like I was saying before, universal. They could be universal rules for a person, because these are all things that I live by every day. Compete with the goal, just my job mindset. Like with my 300 albums and 15,000 tracks, a person could create a ego. Not an alter ego, but damn, that guy's got an annoying ego. He's just that good all the time. There's a time and place for everything. But I know that I'm doing my job. So every album that I get done, it's not like, I'm better than you. There is no better than me. A firefighter fights fires because he's doing his job. Sometimes he doesn't want to do it. It's like, I don't want to do some of the stuff I have to in here, but I'm just doing my job. Mindset. So if you are an artist, if you are someone who thinks highly of themselves, then that's good. Another way to boost that up is, like, you can still think about yourself like that, but don't tell people, like, I got all of this out. You can just say, well, just act like you're just doing your job, and people will respect you more from that. Trust. Quick thinking combat. This one is not a simple one, but this one has come in my life just because of practice. And if you can quick thinking without being in combat, but responding back quickly, not in an aggressive manner, but having an answer, like negotiating power. You can respond quickly and not fall apart over some words anyone says. Practice your job. Sort of goes up here, just doing my job, but I'm practicing every track I put out, every album I'm doing. In my mind, it's always been, it goes into a practice bin. Yeah, these are albums, but it's just practice. Even when I freestyle, I know that I'm practicing my freestyle, and my library is so big that it gets lost in translation, and then when I listen to it, I create mind games that are motivating for your brain, that can build brain cell techniques, brain cell building techniques.
Creative Wind Studio titled CJ01001 Houston, we have a problem.
Example, when I do my freestyles, when I write the very long days, there are mind games that I will play with myself to help motivate and help progress the writing style. Example, there's the no repeat game, where I actively try to remember not repeating any words of the main words, or just any words. That is a mind game I'm playing with myself. There's another game where I feel like I'm jumping on cloud to cloud to cloud to cloud, or post. And those posts are the end of the 4-beat bar or the 16-beat bar. So there's another game where I'm riding a roller coaster, and there's just a lot of imagery flashing in my face. And there's another, you got all these different kinds. So as long as you can play games with yourself that are building brain cells, then that's cool. So always have a brain cell building technique. Consume lots of water. Very important. I write better when I'm not feeling dehydrated. Think of your brain as a spark plug. And the more water your body has, the faster, like, you got a better connection so it can talk back and forth real quick. Whereas, like, if you are dehydrated, think of like trying to travel through jello and how slow it would be to get a signal through versus water. Boom, boom, or room. So think of like that, and it makes sense. Don't let emotions make decisions. Emotions is to feel, not to act upon. Very important. Very important. There's more though. Emotions do not control destiny. Thought does. These are things I believe every single day. Never make big decisions distressed. Never make choices or sign your name or sell your house when you're like crying. Bad moment. Wait until you're level-headed. Wait until you're clear-headed. That's why too many fights in relationship you're like, oh, I'm done. Because, like, first of all, you probably don't really mean it. And so, like, that's why I say you just need to walk away when you're heated and give yourself time. Because sometimes a 10-minute break can mean a lot. Or even like the next day. So I never make big decisions. And sometimes I say I'm gonna wait 2 weeks before I make any decision when I'm like falling apart inside. Who do you speak for? Who do I speak for? Well, there's many people I could talk to. I could talk to pain patients. I got a platform here. So using the tools, and it may not be what I originally wanted, but who am I really speaking for? I could speak for someone. Whose side am I on? Build a character. Build your work character. Build your character when you're on the phone with mom and you don't want to tell her stuff. Build the character when you're with your boyfriend, husband. Build the character that you're going on a date. Build that character when you're going to church. So you build the character and then you try to live it. And that's the alter ego thing. Going to church, well, you have an alter ego church alter ego. Going to work, gotta work, alter ego. You're gonna watch a movie with your friends. I mean, there are truths and false, but it doesn't really matter once you realize that, everyone is different. We know how to say the alphabet and this and that, but we still don't know. Because we're